534th professional game. It's his first game away from support.
This is some WWE weird stuff we got going on here.
No chair shots just yet. No tables being thrown
just
yet.
randomly pops out the Wolf Jungle RKO out of nowhere. This is some weird shit, Papa.
I mean,
you don't
band's
need fine, whatever, but I'm just...
Something's in the air here in the stadium at Sangam Esports Arena. E-Stadium is in kind of a shock. The SKT fans, when they put 2 and 2 together, are also very, very shocked by this display. And looking at the bans now, trying to avoid the fact I don't want to linger on seeing Wolf's name between Untara and Faker. We have some bans coming through. Cogmore very expected. Let's see if we start opting into 80 carry bans on the side of ROX Tigers, though. We usually do see Ezreal, Cogmore, and Kalista accounted for, and so far only 1 out of those 3.
Well, Zoe, yet again, going to be denied from us. Vladimir to follow up. Do we just have the trade-off again? Nope. Kalista on the blue side will be forced out by SKT.
But then they'll get Sejuani, which Wolf has been playing in solo queue, like I mentioned, so it's Ezreal or Sejuani.
Aha!
It's still a trade. You know, you still feel good if you're able to pick up one of those. Sejuani has been permabanned so far in LCK Spring 2018. You can see Sangyu on his screen, still kind of wondering what's going on.
Well, it's going to be the Ezreal banned away, so yeah, Sejuani.
He's going to be picked here, 100%.
Yeah. So there we go.
Do not adjust your monitor. It will be Wolf piloting Jungle Sejuani in Game 3, Day 2 of LCK Spring 2018. We started with an hour pause, 11:45, and we find out that Wolf's Jungle Champ in Game 6 of the night is Sejuani. Things that were unexpected today, times a million on that comment.
It's, there's a pretty long list that's building up here today. Azir might be coming through. There we go. Will be the lock up here for Lava yet again.
Understandable. Good performance from him. It was just clean in the last game. Obviously, when he tried to 1v1 Faker, that wasn't best, but
I mean,
he knew his role earlier.
Trying to do that in any context is usually a pretty bad idea.
Look, he did his role. He didn't have much to do. Top lane kind of did the heavy lifting, but they'll take the Azir. But Tom Kench is probably the other big prize available in this scenario. Another reach for Ornn. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this. I really like Ornn as champion, but just in how the Korean meta has played out, the Ornn priority hasn't necessarily worked, and Tom Kench was up, so surprising to see it not elected for, I guess, Bard. So I guess Braum will be selected here by SKT just to answer the Ornn.
Bard, what the?
I think you just take. I think you have to take Braum just to trivialize the Ornn almost completely. Faker's having a bit of fun now.
Please. Please. It would just be the icing on the cake.
I mean, mid lane, Xin Zhao, pre-6 has a very good time. An all-inning, but will it really happen? The Master Yi happened, so we're never sure.
Go ahead. Let's make my... Dang it. All right.
Really?
I was going to say,
you're
make
like,
my day, Faker.
I'm so unfortunate. My day is not made by Jungle Wolf. I needed the Xin Zhao mid also.
All right, I'm getting greedy, okay?
Take that tiara off. No more spoiling you.
It would have been great.
This is still great. This is still awesome. Going to be a rise coming through for Faker. Locking in the Jarvan. It's going very conventional for the ROX Tigers. No sign of bot lanes from either side, so we could start stacking bans here and get us some interesting AD carries. We've seen Vayne earlier today in a losing effort.
Did not go so well.
Deft couldn't make it work.
Turns out QSS is a pretty good thing to purchase. But Braum's going to be banned away. You already mentioned, SKT potentially picking that up, but not going to get the chance.
I mean, Braum Sejuani, the duo that Samsung Galaxy showed after Rift Rivals last year, and also just Braum putting up his shield and ruining the Ornn Ultimate is the big interaction. So Windwall and the Braum Unbreakable are the two big abilities to just kind of trivialize that. Call the Forge God. Gangplank banned. Okay, so SKT thinking maybe it might be a support Ornn.
Taking that one off the board. Tom Kench will come through as well, so support focus here for the ROX Tigers. Trying to limit the pool. Something like You know, an Alistar is still on the table. We saw that banned away by ROX in the last game, but that could be picked up.
Hard to tell if they're junk bans or if they're actually, we think Orin's going to be support bans from SKT. Wait and see. We won't even necessarily be confirmed by whatever's locked in from ROX. Looking for some bot lane and power. And Varus, another one that's been targeted and also picked today. So certainly a strong pick here, even if it's not a Sangyun special like some of the other ones.
We'll see that one locked in. Not too shocking given how much of the pool has been taken away here. Yes, the Xin Zhao ADC is exactly what I want to see.
Seems like Sivir is going to be the call for an initiation comp. It's one they've been showing the most. Bit of Cloud Templar trolling, and then it seems like the Sivir will be the lock-in.
Imagine if he accidentally locked the Illum, though.
I mean, we saw double Teemo in a
I
week,
know.
so anything's possible.
That's what I'm saying. It would be great. They have to play that. I mean, what do you even rotate at that point?
I'm just shaking my head. I don't even want to think about it. There's been so many unlikely occurrences today that I need to stand the straight and narrow, just look at the screen, focus on what is happening.
All right,
Sivir Alistar, happy duo, and it seems like the read by SKT wasn't bad at all, because they are considering the orange support. When you see Alistar, you're not really worried about your lane phase as a tank support, so could just be taking Jason to Gnar on the top side. Smashing Untara worked in the previous game, so flexing the Ornn is going to be the way forward for the ROX Tigers. They're going to try and take Jace into Gnar.
Okay.
A bit more of a carry fight in the top side, try and just kind of survive the laning phase with the Ornn, who has good gank assist at 6. Previous to that is kind of tanky. Interesting stuff. So we consider what happens here. ROX still do have tankiness. Jarvan and also the Ornn will provide that good initiation coming through on the side of ROX as well. And then for SKT, pretty prototypical drop. A lot of power, the ability to play side lanes. This, to me, again, is the 2018 patch special. You can have a Rise to play semi-globals. You have Sivir Alistar, which is a bit different, but still can provide a lot.
Wait and see if jungle.
Gonna wait and see if it's Unsealed Spellbook, but the screen grab's coming in a second. Could be this one, but I think the jungle matchup full screen AR of a Wolf being in that position is the one you're going to remember. NA is going to wake up soon to what is just a crazy thing. People are going to look at the post-match side and be like, oh, they put the wrong name in there. That's weird, but the top lane is pretty normal. Jace is there after Ornn was vexed up. This happened to Gilios on this day here. We do have Wolf in the jungle as Sejuani.
17th of January 2018, Wolf branched away from his support play and dove into the jungle.
I feel like this is going to go really, really well or really, really poorly.
Yeah, it's either going to be like, holy crap, I can't believe that Wolf is this good at the jungle, or it's going to be, Jesus Christ, they never have to never do that again. We'll find out which it is. Game 3, last game of the day here, guys. Just about midnight as we dive into this one. So let's see who's going to come out on top, SKT or ROX Tigers.
And in full voice for both teams as we all try and get our bearings for what is an insane match day already. 6th game of the night. 1 hour pause to start off the KT vs. Afrika series, where Afrika recorded their first victory since the start of 2017 over KT Rolster. And now we get a treat we didn't even know we could even possibly want. You can't know you wanted it until you got it.
Yep,
and you
until
got
we were presented
Wolf
with it.
Jungle. On Sejuani, who's been permabanned so far in the LCK. That's another notable. We can't read that sign. Maybe Joel will do a translation for us.
I'm going to guess that they made a sign about Wolf in the jungle.
Oh, look at you reading cameras. Good shot, good shot. Wolf started on the top side.
Practicing my Korean.
He's kind of considering his options here. Hard Unleash obviously going to be on the bot side, and it's going to be a late invade from ROX Tigers, spotted out by Untara.
Blue buff takeaway here, however, for Linderong and Songwon.
Just going to decrease the health total, but not going to be a serious commitment there from the Gnar, who can just harass Jace on the way back to lane.
Oh, Boomerang not really going to connect.
Pretty good matchup for Jace, understandably, given they had the counter pick after flexing the Ornn.
Wolf's making his way over to this side. Will get spotted out by that ward.
It's level 2, and Nara does have first rotation, so it's like, if you waste a lot of time on Gromp, I'm just going to have my top laner come and get a kill.
He's just running at Songwon still. Wolf can't seem to make up his mind. We'll go back over to the Gromp.
We're going to see some genius tier pathing.
You know, I'm ready to be amazed. Meantime, Sivir, you know, not one of the more common ones as we see that coming through here.
Yeah, we saw one Sivir with Unsealed Spellbook yesterday. Prey was running that for King Zone and teleporting into lane, push, push, push style. You understand it against Ezreal, because Ezreal, of course, one weakness he has in the duo lane is the inability to push. But against Varus, seems less likely to be a god tier choice. But the ability to teleport does give flexibility and map movements, which SKT have always been the best at in basically every iteration. So there's a lot going on as Lava. Faker's playing with fire here.
Yeah, he really is. And I mean, he's going to miss out on those minions there, including the cannon. Lava, do you want to go for it? No. He should have. Should have been great, but just going to be the swap out there on the summoner spells for Faker coming back in.
He's feeling it, by the way. Wolf's here for a gank.
He's still down to about half HP. Lava's here. Sungwon as well. Forces the flash away. Wolf low on mana.
Wolf wants this.
Yeah, he's looking for Lava, but now he's just isolated himself. Red buff to slow him up, and Wolf, oh dear. He's just going to be giving up that first blood key, wandering his way up from the bottom lane, just taking away that first blood.
You can't take the decisiveness out of Wolf, but in that case, the damage calculation, predictably on a player on an off roll, wasn't there. Can do a lot of early burst damage as Sejuani. Many people have felt it, but giving up the first blood here, pretty awkward. Does mean that Key enters lane with red buff. It's not a blue, but does mean that he can shake off poke better than any, and not a great look as a start for SKT.
Really not. Everybody kind of getting pushed in here. CS leads for everybody on the side of the ROX Tigers overall. I mean, Wolf, a perfect flash to follow. But
oh, for sure. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, but
no mana. Like,
yeah, the damage calculation wasn't there. The mana wasn't there. He'd already used his splash, and they had push priority on bot side. So Key's like, thank you very much. Goodbye, Wolf. Back to the drawing board for the Sejuani jungle.
All right, well, a bit of an awkward start, but it's not over yet. You know, plenty of time to swing their way back into this one.
It's not fleet footwork on the Sejuani. That's been a really big popular pick in solo queues. Fleet footwork, extra attack speed early and movement speed to guarantee the 4 proc on the E. And also some options in the precision tree do work out really well for Sejuani. Aftershock isn't that common a choice, even though, you know, on first glance you looked at the runes and you thought, yeah, absolutely. Going into the Resolve tree and Aftershock as a great option. As Domination second, just for the zombie ward, of course.
Dara just going to get the wall up there. Doesn't have that level 6. Just a stun into the wall could have proved fatal there for Linderong. Just trying to trade even. See,
Wolf's in a ward.
Again, finding Songwon here. Trying to get the stun up. Doesn't get it with the Flag and Drag. Does happen, so J4 just going to be safe to exit.
It's a funny old game, League of Legends. Said it a couple of times today. This context, though, is different.
Yes, it is. Losing out on a bit of that CS there up top, so going to be behind by a little bit. And now Key going in on the bang. To knock up with the charge effort, trying to trade a little bit back. Just the stun up and Bang firing away with the ricochets, but overall still going to be pretty dang healthy from the side of the ROX Tigers.
And for the side of SKT, I think it's pretty much going to be, as long as top lane doesn't have, you know, the on-fire nature that it did in the previous game, got to say, those team fights will be pretty mighty, even if they were in vain. And Faker's outplays also pretty insane. Same matchup for Faker on the rise. Good matchup into the Azir. So, given that top lane's a lot more equal, Wolf or not, they do have great team fight options as the game goes on.
I have faith in Wolf throwing that ultimate and landing it. And then the rest of SKT blowing somebody up. So, I think the team fight phase will be just fine for him. It's just about getting there and how this, you know, pathing and the ganks are going to continue here for Wolf.
Wolf being behind means the top lane is isolated, so pretty happy times for Jace. Small CS lead, but he's building the items he wants, and now has to build into defensive stats. So Jace in the supremacy in the top side. Zero doing well after forcing Faker out of lane, but no CS advantage, and they're returning to blue buff. So we talked in game 1 about bullying effort. You know, bullying Wolf in a new role. Certainly not a rookie by any means, but a rookie to the jungle at the highest level. So good to see Sungwon continuing his good play in the previous game by finding a place and attacking it. For this game, it is Wolf.
Who would have thought?
A no one free match.
Game 1, it was effort, then Untara. Now, seems like Wolf is going to be the next big focus here. Untara taking quite a bit of damage from that shock blast. Sungwon is waiting on the other side here, but Untara does have that defensive ward in the brush.
Not spotted till now, though.
Yeah, blast cone. Bringing him in as they go for the dive. Untara looking for the transformation. TP coming through as well. Faker going to arrive. Realm Warp coming through. They want this. Looks like they might be able to find it. Faker's going in for Linderong. As Untara, he's got the handle there on Sungwon. A little bit more damage.
It's Wolf.
Finish him off, and the auto attack will get him.
Needed.
Wolf is just going to take a turret shot.
Sungwon
back out, but
and
2 kills.
Sungwon and Linderong giveth. Sungwon and Linderong taketh away in this particular scenario. 2 kind of calming kills to the side of SKT. And a bit of experience for Wolf as he jumped over. I believe he was in XP range there, but that was all he was going to get. Intriguing stuff and important for SKT.
You know, no matter how this game goes, if SKT wins, can we please vote Wolf into MVP? Because I would love to hear his interview.
I don't think our vote's going to be the deciders there, because the autofill in LCK situation is enough to get any popular vote.
This is not my plea to you. This is my plea to anybody who might hear me that has some influence over that.
And Wolf is looking for more. He's actually sticking around. That's some veteran jungler sense, trying to continue to pile on to the good matchup of Jace by trying to get the second kill.
A little bit of damage there coming through. Still just trying to take away the Krug, but it seems like, yeah, it's just going to be the Krug picking that one up since they get the extended leash. Ultimate coming through here. Now sit back bang. That stopwatch keeping himself alive. Charge forward gets the knock up. Quite a bit of damage exchanged there as he and Songyun come out on top of that.
Varus Ornn does feel like kind of a Varus Braum kind of situation with how much pick CC they have. I didn't see when the spell shield was used. Might have been used earlier. Down now.
Shay going through trying to clear out the minions, but Lava and Sungwon are wrapping around from behind. Effort and bang.
Nice defensive
ward. Yeah, they have that ward there.
And a really creative spot as well.
Yeah, definitely not a a normal check spot, just over the wall.
Spotting the blast cone, I guess, is what you're taking away from that. Faker will kind of walk in the area, but largely be training towards mid lane. ROX's dive undone by a smart defensive ward there. Couldn't spot if it was bang or effort, but as a duo, they do spot out. Creative approach ROX was taking.
They certainly stopped the worst from happening. SKT still keeping things very tight-knit, just 200 gold or so behind at the moment. Dragon not yet coming to contention. 10.5 minutes in, Mountain Drake's still just going to be chilling out.
A lot of vision control on the top side means that Nara can take chances against Jace you don't want to, as Lava and Sungwon meet their opposing duo of Wolf and Faker. But double control ward for Nara against Jace is very unlikely to happen, so it's more control than you'd expect around a losing lane matchup. So pretty good time for Untara, all things considered. That's why his CS is very competitive against Jace.
Just making sure that Bang can back without problem.
Comes straight back in with the unsealed spellbook, changing his heal into a teleport. Probably going to be heal again later. After that recall, we see another ward coming down just to spot Wolf. Lane gank's very possible with the Sejuani. So while Linderong's not confident enough to EQ in anymore after the last double kill they passed over to SKT, they are still keeping tabs on the Sejuani very well.
Trying to track him as much as possible. You see Untara, things have stabilized there up top. Got that CS advantage coming through. Very slight one at that, plus the kill there for himself. Still going to be in a much better spot compared to the last game.
Should be worth noting that the laning phase extending bot lane suits Songyun really, really well as that's WQ'd here.
Nice spell shield there. That's going to be the lockdown there on the Songyun as he goes low. Wolf instead just trying to keep Bang alive. Call out going through, and that the boomerang blade going through. Bang is going to pick up the kill. First one here for the bottom lane. that goes over onto the Sivir. Intara trying to fire back, trying to chunk out Linderong as Faker arrives with the Realm Warp. Gets the Q in, gets locked down, he'll fall. Intara finding yet another kill.
Winning 2 lanes at once. Big pressure move here from SK Telecom T1 in the bot side. Sungyun and ROX were choosing fights when they're in a power trough. I was going to mention that putting down a ward onto the enemy golems, or Krug camp I should say, is fine because you just want to keep farming. You have a recurve bow and a pickaxe. It's still over 2,000 gold till you finished your real first item of the Ginsu Rageblade. Instead, they tried to fight around it. Lost there. Great roam timing by Faker. Came in with just the level 1 ultimate and was able to pick up the kill there. So everything working in unison for the side of ROX, of SK Telecom T1.
4-1. Gold lead still not that significant. Just 1,000 gold blossoming there for SKT. Wasn't intended. 13 minutes into this game. Mountain Drake still has not been looked at, nor has that Rift Herald. See what Wolf is going to do next. Right now just hovering around that top side of the river, but is spotted out as he clears that control ward.
And towards the top side, providing coverage for Intara. Very, very important to allow him to walk up and poke.
I mean, while, you know, Wolf has been losing out on his blue buff, he's been taking the red buff away from Songwon pretty consistently throughout this game. So that's kind of the exchange they've been going to. And you can see that, you know, sees that it comes up. He goes straight back over to this top side of the map because Antara's got so much presence in the lane. There's nothing really that Linderong could do to try to help take that red buff back over to the side of ROX.
And you just put it together, and in a bad matchup, Untara has way more lane presence than the Jace, and they're going to look for a dive.
Yeah, they're going to be going for this one. They get the slow up.
They know the flash is back up.
A bit too far forward.
And they know flash is back up for Linderong, so they just pull out from that. But they're taking over the what should be the Wake side and making it their strong side, just negating Jace's laning phase. And we've seen enough Jace games to know that if Jace is held down this extensively, his late game power is not what he's picked for. So if Gnar can always be a half item ahead, take him in the 1v1, and be a teamfight guard, as is Gnar is wont to do, this is big for SKT. They split the map in the ideal way on the top side.
Nicely done, and they go ahead and they start up that Rift Herald as well. Faker hovering nearby, taking the blue buff, can help finish this one off. Or he'll just leave Wolf to his own devices. Seems like that'll be the way he plays this one out. Wants to go ahead and catch that minion wave in mid. Still been hovering behind Lava as far as the CS is concerned, but not by a whole lot. 10 down at the moment as that Rod of Age is coming through, starting to stack that up alongside the Tear of the Goddess.
With roams also coming up successfully, so
yes,
definitely advantage Faker in the mid lane matchup.
Oh yeah, 1-0-2 for him. Dragon being taken. Boomerang to try to finish that one off, and he takes it away, drops down to 30 HP before the backswing, and bang, just nets it for himself.
You know that's the dagger through the heart.
Oh, that's the tilter right there.
Certainly, it means you get both neutrals, no smite available for someone only now, ticking off cooldown. Sometimes you feel like the whole weight of the world is collapsing on you, and that right there was the moment where ROX thought, okay, things are bad.
Here we go, this is going to be the engagement. On the hunt, coming through from Bang, firing away in onto Songyun. Faker now arriving, just no hope for the Varus. He just gets destroyed as Faker walks away with the kill. Lava, the rest of the team not able to collapse in time to help save him. 5-1 advantage here for SK Telecom as that gold lead keeps growing, now up to 3,000.
I mean, the communication that must be going on here has been beautiful to watch. It's reminiscent of Game 1, even though the roster is different, because they've split the map in the absolute optimal way. Macro-wise, it's a massive win to be able to have the Jace as a non-factor. Sure, Wolf made one silly overdive, but everything around that is super clean from SKT. Is this just a one-off? Is this a backup strategy? Is it an emergency? Is it a new starting situation? We don't have the influence or the understanding of what the reality of that is, but it's working a treat right now.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is ROX might just have to live with losing to Wolf in the jungle the only time that he'll play it competitively in 2018. This could just be it, and it could just be to finish off ROX.
Insane. Insane risk, insane roll of the dice. He certainly wasn't monopolizing his solo queue account with only jungle. He was playing largely support off-roll on jungle. Has always played some jungle. I mean, Wolf famously wasn't big for solo queue, and especially for playing support in solo queue until his lack of form in summer last season led to more support play. But it seems pre-planned from SKT.
I mean, you know, when when we found out about it, one of the first things that ran through my mind was that this was like what SKT did back at the start of 2016, swapping Bengi out and putting Blank in when he had just joined the squad. I'll hold my thought there as Effort gets launched on, but he's just going to go ahead and go. He gets that 3-man pulverize as Faker arrives. Oh, Forge God comes through, but it's not really doing a whole lot. Songyun going to be coming out of that stopwatch, promptly taken down by Bang with the Boomerang Blade, and now Key also going to follow suit as it's a double kill going over to the Sivir. 7-1 here for SKT, absolutely just destroying ROX Tigers.
If you want any confirmation that the Drake take was the tilter, it can be the fact that they just all-in on the Alistair, who had ultimate up. That's never the right call for the ROX Tigers. They're might have to pack this one up, Achilles.
Yeah, but I was saying, you know, it reminded me of when they swapped Blank in for the first time against the ROX Tigers, the original ROX Tigers, and everyone just kind of said, you know, oh, it's because SKT don't think they can win with Bengi in, so they want to put Blank in, and then it's kind of like, oh, we have an excuse to lose. That was my first thought with Wolf coming into the jungle, was that it was going to be a similar situation, but it turns out it's actually doing okay.
I think it's one of those things where it's SK Telecom. You know, they're a team that's very, very proud. They're a team that thought they were 2-0, but were run over by ROX in Game 2. And Blank was second to places, but didn't feel like he was slow. Just felt like that's the natural way of things when you're a Zac. They put what looks like on the outside a massive dice roll, but we don't know how scrims are going. We don't know how much has been put into this because outside of, you know, a big miss or over-eagerness around the dive onto Azir, I mean, he's not necessarily had to do too much here, but he hasn't done too much wrong either, which, again, he's playing his competitive debut as a jungler, 534 games in the LCK, and that already is a mini win for Wolf.
Not bad at all. Just that one death, one kill that they've given over to ROX. It's just that overzealousness from Wolf, and he has not been making that mistake twice here in this game.
So what you're saying is he's ruining the perfect game.
You know, he did. He did do that. Damn it, Wolf.
It could have been worse. You could have been perfect gamed by Wolf Jungle.
You'll never jungle in this town again.
SKT running the map. They had great vision control on the top side before when they needed it. They don't need it right now. It's a nice little flash from Faker.
It's a redirection. Does get the pop-up there onto Faker, who's now looking to turn things around. There's Effort in the backside. Goes in, gets that pulverize. Does a little bit of damage, even through the ultimate. But Faker is dishing out quite a bit now. Antara arriving in, gets that killing blow in onto Key, and the rest of ROX are running scared. But Emperor's Divide is not going to be enough to save Lava's life. Bang comes in, takes him out, and now is going to be looking to knock down that tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane.
Use of Realm Walk. Beautiful. Sejuani ult thrown in celebration. Missed everyone. Don't worry, Wolf. No one noticed. So we're going to keep pushing in the bot side, and we talked about the previous game snowballing away for ROX. Exactly the same story, but this time for SKT on blue side. They're going to be 10,000 gold up in almost no time. It's going to hit 8,000 when this turret goes down. That'd be 7.4 if we're going to do our maths correctly, but
it's going to go forward a little bit more. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're not going to finish off that mid turret. Yeah, Bang's going to go ahead and peel back. So a little bit of a delay on that one. But yeah, you know, we'll give Wolf that ultimate. You get one.
Competitive jungler Wolf. Autofill Master Wolf. Who else has autofilled in LCK? I believe it may have happened once before. I think once before I remember an off roll. I don't remember the specific example. If it does, I'll
you know who it was?
mention the stream.
It was Comeback.
That's right. Well, that was kind of announced. It was announced as a jungle sub.
I mean, he was listed as a support.
Then he was listed as a jungle.
And then it moved to yes.
It did say jungle on the piece of paper.
I think the first time that he played, I don't think that he was listed as jungle yet. I think he was still listed as support, and then he got swapped into jungle. Because I remember asking about the rules that, as long as you have a sub that can play for you in any role. So I'm pretty sure he was still listed as a support. So Hachani, a.k.a. Comeback, a.k.a. retired.
That was actually known to the community, though. They had kind of said publicly that he was training up in the jungle roles. But this was from left field a little bit more than that. But good pull there, Achilles.
Yeah.
Similar situation. What are these supports going to jungle? It's a new thing. It's all about the pathing, less mechanics, I guess.
Yeah. It's just the natural transition.
Looking at the map here, Nara's going to return to bot lane. Teleport is up, but teleport wards around Baron. Not the best. No deep vision here for SKT on the red side to make Baron easy. And losing Baron is one of the few ways this game will be delayed, so I imagine it's going to be the multi-step invade for Vision, then start off the Baron plan for SKT.
Oh, well, it's going to be an Eruption coming down for the pop-up. Do find it there, but kills have not spilled forward. Wolf nearly going down, but Faker's able to go ahead and finish off Sungwon. You can see just Flava way too far forward, gets absolutely shredded. Keith trying to do his damnedest. He's tanky with his Ornn, but there's just so much damage out from Bang, who is just racking up kill after kill, triple kill going through for him. Linderong, the last remaining member of the ROX Tigers, is headed for the hills, trying to get back into base to get to the fountain to heal up, but there's really nothing that he can do. Inner turret goes down in mid. SKT now looking for the Baron, just 22.5 minutes in, 13-1. It's not a perfect game, but it's so damn close.
Really good shot call also to go for the Baron, because you consider, well, they could have got the inhibitor turret, right? But they would have had to back. Potentially there could have been a rush for Baron. But the reason why I really like taking Baron in this particular game is look who you're against. You're against Jace, Azir, and Varus. So much line wave clear.
Yeah.
Getting the Baron buff negates that. You already know you have the potential to die. The Baron is the better objective than the inhibitor turret. That is not always the case, but definitely in this situation gets them a big win.
Well, very solid here from SKT. Massive turnaround from that game 2 where they were just floundering, didn't really know what to do after the camping top. But I mean, you know, ROX, they try to go for the engagement, but it's just not enough.
I mean, Wolf leads with his face. You do that on Alistair, you do that on Sejuani. Does that, and there's just so much extra gold that the damage from ROX doesn't register in anywhere near the same way as it does from SK Telecom T1. Skippy into the backline, Sungyun's all alone because everyone else is dead. From there, as you say, triple kill for Bang, a Baron buff, and now we're one team fight away from SKT icing the game.
7-0-3, Bang there on that Sivir. He is, he's pretty good, as it turns out. He's got the Static Shiv, Infinity Edge, and that Essence Reaver all ready to go on top of the Berserker Greaves. It's just a hell of a lot of damage compared to Songyun, who is struggling with just the 2.5 items really that he's got going for himself.
We still have 2/3 full crowd at midnight, 15 past minutes, 12:15 a.m. in Korea.
On a weekday.
Yeah, there's another match day today, by the way.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm not casting that one, so.
Wait, am I on that one?
Yes, you are.
All right.
You're on all of them.
Oh, well, I'm coming back to the studio real soon, Achilles.
See you back here in about 14 hours.
Baker's going to take top turret. They have to stay as 5 here. The ROX Tigers, no ability to split the map. Not quite the base broken just yet, but it feels like we're just moments away. The full court press was in a couple of times tonight. The full display from SK Telecom T1 is all right.
Coming down there on the Bang, looking for the knockup, but they do not find it. But they will be able to find that kill now. Wolf landed the ultimate this time around, does go in, takes down Songwon. Massive Emperor's Divide coming through, trying to knock him back. The damage is just overwhelming from the side of SKT, even without the Sivir in the mix. Faker goes forward, finds Linderong.
Hey, Wolf got a kill.
Just about to be the ace right there as Wolf does get a kill. Congratulations, Wolf. Welcome to the jungle. Hope we see more of you, because honestly,
you'll have fun in games.
Damn entertaining. SKT pushing forward. Good little. Took me way too long to get that, but it's been a long day, Papa. 2 inhibitors going to go down, and likely just the end of the game right here, perhaps.
It's going to be the end.
What was it? They don't have a Sivir. And the respawns are coming through. Sungwon's up, Sunghyun coming up soon. So yeah, maybe this will be a slight little delay.
Let's keep it going. 12:30, baby, the dream.
Woo! Let's make it all the way to 1 a.m. I think, I forget what the longest we've been here until was. I've told that anecdote so many times that now.
I think it's 12:30.
Yeah, 12:30 I do believe.
I mean, we're going to be here till 12:30. We still got an interview after this.
That was during the Great Blizzard of 2016. 2017.
Well, we're going to have an interview after this, so we're staying late, Achilles, going to the wee hours, bringing you guys League of Legends action. It's been just the most insane day.
It really has.
I hope someone goes back and watches the entire VOD from the start. It's
including
been something.
The podcast?
Yes, including the podcast. We should really start releasing those as separate audio files. Our LCK podcast, which was a solid 7 hours ago.
What should we title it?
Wolf in the Jungle. They won't know what it means.
Okay.
Oh boy, SK Telecom T1 looking great form. Just looking to ice the game. Items overload on everyone, and yep, everyone on welfare on the side of ROX Tigers. No one's got any gold.
2 kills across the team there. One of them's on key.
And look how respectable Wolf's kills look now, 2-1 and 8.
It's popping off. Look at his CS lead over Sungwon.
Beautiful, 45, 35. Well, the Azir turret's all they have to show in the mid lane, and it's going to go down overtime, and full court press we talked about continues.
They're going for another play here on the Bang, looking for the pop-up. He sidesteps it beautifully within the Cataclysm. Trying to push forward, but instead is just taking hit after hit from that Sivir.
Tara goes to the transformation.
And he get it.
Boy,
Megadon, this could be a
survive.
juicy ultimate. He's going to go forward looking for the Infinite Divide. Does cut him off, so not really going to be able to get the completion there that he would have liked. Could have been a massive ultimate. As Wolf goes ahead and picks up yet another kill, this time finishing off key. Faker goes forward, charging face first up towards that fountain. Does take out the bear. Sungin goes down, and the Nexus turrets are going to crumble. This one, game 3, considerably faster than the rest. 28 minutes on the clock. SKT with Wolf in the jungle. Take them down. And that is going to be a victory for them. Certainly a bit more hard fought than SKT was expecting here at the beginning of the season versus the likes of the ROX Tigers. But they look good in game 2, but what can you say? Wolf in the jungle here in game 3. Is there nothing that this man can do?
We'll start with ROX Tigers and say...
Nothing is, yeah.
It's a long day.
Long day.
We'll start with the ROX Tigers and say, what was their pre-match goal? Look competitive. What did they do? Certainly look competitive. Sure, in game 1 and game 3, eventually they were taken out, and Sungyun with a bit of a wry grin. I'm sure he won't be interviewed after this one, but he'll be having some choice words about the series. ROX Tigers did not get completely blown over by SKT. The game 2 victory was triumphant, but Wolf in the jungle was a success. Is it a once-off thing against ROX Tigers? Is it something that you always have to respect now? If effort is the starting support, maybe you do have a flex substitute who can play either support or jungle as the team needs.
Such a weird timeline that we're living in right here, but you know, I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't like it. Absolutely incredible Wolf. And we'll finish that one out. Multiple kills, only the one death where he just got a bit too crazy going in for that Azir. Gives up the first blood, but doesn't even matter. The rest of the team is there to pick up the slack, and he himself went into overdrive. And they just absolutely crushed ROX Tigers there in game 3. So I believe that actually gives us a 100% blue side win rate here today, Bob Smith.
Yes, you're right. It did go blue side. That's interesting. Have to really go back and crunch the numbers once we have at least a full match day for every team being played and work out what's good and what leaves us something to be desired. No Italy today. That was not the pick of the day. And Kha'Zix, you'd have to say, has been a pretty big fail apart from game 2 of this series as well so far in the LCK. But we're still learning about what's good and what still needs to be developed. The ROX Tigers, they won't feel great, but game 2 is something that you can't take away. They were not 2-0'd by SK Telecom T1. And then for SKT, you think, all right, kind of everything you worried about and also were excited about happened. What about Bang? He came out and hard carried game 1. Great feels for Bang. What about Untara? Looked solid in 2 games and then just got smashed in 1 game. Still some worries there about how top lane will look. So it still feels like the dartboard has kind of darts in every area, and we still don't have a full picture of SK Telecom after 1 match day.
Curious to see how many kills Faker got here today. Get close to that 1,500 mark. He is very close to that. 1,444, I do believe, at the start of the day.
Can tell you he didn't get 56 kills.
Yes. That is correct. You know, I kind of figured on that one, Papa Smithy, but thank you for keeping the math.
That's why they keep me around. I'm the math god.
There's been some math struggles here tonight, so it's good that we got that one figured out, just to be sure. But, man, I mean, what a first day here for LCK at OGN.
Everything happens.
Going to the full 6 games on the day, taking about as long as humanly possible. And you guys got the special edition podcast at the start for about an hour.
This was definitely the most LCK in every good way.
Are you not entertained?
You got a podcast, you got 6 games, all of which interesting new picks, role swaps. Bengi's there talking to Wolf, being like, I told you. Jungling for SKT's all right.
Taught him everything that I know.
Camp for Faker.
Yep. Well, Bengi came back, and he's just said, all right, you know what? Blank has to be the sub again. But I'm not playing, so Wolf, you got to do something. But there you go. I mean, the damage coming through from the Azir there at the end, still pretty significant, but just wasn't enough. Bang at the end. I mean, he was just ripping people apart left and right.
So we're just giving the MVP to the narrative MVP. Surely it's just going to be Wolf. We need to ask questions.
I think it really has to be. We have to hear from this man.
Sometimes gameplay is secondary to autofill in LCK. Come on.
I'll be so upset. There we go. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an interview with Wolf, 3-1-9 on the day. Out of the jungle for the first time in his competitive career with a 57% kill participation rate. Let's take a look at some highlights.
I mean, Wolf was seeing sights he's never seen before. Going every nook and cranny of the jungle, finding places, going for a walk.
Look at that
no
ultimate.
longer shackled to his mate, although he was very close to bang there. It's kind of lore appropriate. This was the part where ROX all-in on the Alistair at ultimate. That was from, this was 100%.
Another one.
Oh, that was a bad time. Sung the golden, game 2. Not so much game 3. And yeah, crazy game. Insane to have Wolf have the flexibility to start playing in a solo queue. They prefer effort in the jungle over Blossom playing, effort in the support role, and Wolf flexing to the jungle over Blossom playing, which, given his lack of experience in a game 3, it makes a lot of sense. The end result is something no one could have predicted, though. Cool stuff. Really, really cool match day, and well-deserved victory to Wolf. Again, flexing like this, the highest level of competition, has to be applauded.
Especially when really nobody anticipated it. It caught everybody off guard. It's just one of the weirdest things to see. And to have it be successful, I mean, that really is something that's going to be playing in the back of every team's mind when they come and play against SK Telecom.
Especially if
Are they going to have Wolf in the jungle?
Especially if Effort can solidify himself as starter, right? He was kind of a little bit up and down, but decent first outing for him. If he can continue to develop, then you really do have a flex sub. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. But, I mean, it's time to go ahead and throw over to our interview. So it's going to be our former bot lane in Bang and Wolf, but with different roles this time around. Excited to hear what Wolf has to say about his first jungle appearance. So let's go ahead and throw over to Joel for the translation. Joel, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joel once again. For the very last time of day 1 of OG against LCK, we're going to have SKTs. Very happy for many reasons. 2 MVPs of this series. We're going to have Bang and also Wolf from the jungle. Seems more like an introduction of the SKT bot lane, but it's definitely a different story this time around. How do you feel about the win?
오늘 좀 준비한 것만큼 나왔는지 잘 모르겠는데
I think today, I don't know if it came out to the level that we had prepared, but
첫 경기에 이겨서
it's the first game of the season, so getting a win, no matter it doesn't really matter how he did it,
신인 선수고
and with all the rookie players that had to be involved in today's games, it felt really good today.
그렇죠. 약간 단도직입적으로 여쭤보면 뭐 어떤 배경이 있었나요?
And what was the behind story into today's
제가 팀 내에서
demolition of you playing jungle today?
할때 같은 팀일 때 솔랭에서 되게 굉장히 평판이 좋았거든요.
Yeah, I mean when I was playing solo queue with our jungle teammates, had a pretty good win rate playing on that position. Just playing solo queue, so I felt like it might have transferred that success over to the actual competitive league. So I felt like I was surprised, of how well I did, and feel like I can continue on with this, and maybe if I keep practicing, I can just keep this a staple for me. It's not really because I couldn't play support, but it's because I can play both positions well, and I think that's the reason why I play jungle today. And it felt like when you were sitting down at that different chair, you seemed a lot more confident than what we'd expected you to. But let's go on and take this a little more seriously. What do you want to give Wolf's jungling if you can score that based on his performance? I think if I came in from the very first game, I wouldn't have made that mistake in the early game when I dove in with the Sejuani. It will show it in the replay here, but yeah, I mean, it's an instinctual play. I mean, he went on and he had pretty low HP, so like, oh, I had to flash in with him. So I guess I wasn't really aware of all the other teammates that his allies could have come for his counter. No, if it was our support that came right there, I mean, I wouldn't have died, and Azir probably would have died.
사실 오프 더 레코드가 있기 때문에
And there is going to be an off the record, I'm sure, for a lot of these discussions held here. So you guys can check for yourselves on what the truth beholds once that is released.
인터뷰는 인터뷰고 또 사실 뭐 저희가 먼저 올라갈 수도 있었던 상황일 수도 있어요.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a situation where we could have greeted and used all of our flashes just to help out Wolf in that Sejuani over there, but
8.5점?
I think I would give 8.5, maybe out of 10.
그게 제일 중요했지만.
Pretty good.
그걸 빼면은 좀
Not bad.
무난하게 그냥 신인.
For me, as a rookie jungler, I felt like it was a solid performance in the jungle.
당황하신 것 같아요.
그래서 뱅 선수 그러면 요즘 이제 팀이 뭐 여러 가지 코치진 변화라든지
And of course, your team is experiencing a lot of different changes within the organization, but how has been that change affecting your team as a whole?
사실 이거 말이 되나? 뭐 스크림 저쪽 같은데?
전적?
굉장히 좀 좋아요 그냥.
I mean, it's just good overall.
사람 아니 그러니까 팬분들이 보시기에는
I don't know if the fan base may have any misunderstanding about, our current team morale, but despite maybe the little bit disappointing performance that we had in the past, I think we're doing all right. And you did pick out Israel for game 1 and ended up putting a lot of damage to lead your team to victory.
그게 궁금했거든요.
I'm sure we have a replay showing an example of that. And it was a very darring situation for your team. And right at this point, did you kind of expect all the things were going to go the right way? Was there any mistakes in that specific play? I mean, he's just really looking at his highlight right now and just immersed in it.
그때 탐켄치가 먹어주고 그때 탐켄치가 죽었.
At that situation when Tom Kench took his champion, took his ally, and died with it, I think that was a big mistake by that support. But
낚시를 해서 순간적으로 아지르를 터치하는 장면이 있어요.
and we saw a situation where he suddenly flanked from the side and to kill off Azir.
일단은 제가 한번 보자고 하기 아지르가 이제 상대 팀 선수들이 미드 쪽으로 3명이 가는 게.
And it was a situation where the 3 of their opponents were heading towards mid lane. And it was a situation where I had a good angle up on him. And it was something that we want to take our chances upon. And from our second other teammates that were hiding in that left side of the bush, it was a good position for us to flank him all together. And I think it was a situation where Azir had to come to that position. It was a very much a bait for him to take.
자, 그리고 3세트에서도 뱅 선수가 11위로
And going on to game 3, you did pick out the Sivir
그거 노렸잖아요.
to get the win there again.
아니요, 그거는 100% 운이었어요.
I think one of the situations you're talking about where I got the blind shot, that was complete luck.
그게 그런 상황이 오면 약간 느낌이 오잖아요.
I feel like someone might be there, but you're never sure, so you just throw it out there and hopefully it gets it. And I was pretty surprised when I got the kill there.
진짜 날카로웠거든요, 타이밍이.
시야가 있었나요, 안쪽에?
Did you have any vision? No, I didn't have any vision. It was just literal instinct of me feeling like if I throw a Q right at that time, maybe I'll get it. It was more of a kind of a rushed moment where we just had to rush over there and hopefully steal it in some way or the another. And I told Alistar to go and ward it, but it wasn't in time enough, so I had to go in there and go for the Hail Mary there. I mean, now you have a hard decision, Wolf. Are you gonna stay in the jungle or are you gonna go back to your former support? What kind of a jungle would you like to be? What kind of a jungler would you like to be?
저는
클램이라고 하지 마세요.
제발
클라우드 템플러라고 하지 마세요.
그러지 마세요.
He just hit Dan.
저는
As you
그냥 여러 선수들의 장점을 좀
I want to
베끼고 싶긴 한데
sort of absorb
제가
the strengths of many different junglers around the league.
어떻게 해야 하는지를 배운 게 저희 배성훈 코치님이라서
And I think
네.
my jungler
아마
fanatic
배성훈
just really came from
코치님이
learning from
저희
Bengi.
팀에 안 오셨다면 제가
And I think if Bengi didn't have come to our team to join as the coach, I don't think I would have had the bravery to go in that position and do what I did today.
그런 것 같아요. 네.
이거 듣고 있을 또 배성훈 코치는 되게
그렇죠.
예.
And they're highlighting upon Cloud Temporary. I think he's feeling a little bit mad that he's not the role model for Wolves jungling here.
근데 배 코치님이랑 제가
Maybe a
토론하고
full player
있으면은
movement.
But you know,
좀 동선에
regarding
관한
Bengi
이야기를 굉장히
and
많이
I, when we do discuss
강민이 되게
possible
싫어하지.
jungling routes,
동선이 무슨 상관이냐? 상대가 먼저 찔러.
but he always tells me that the pathing is not really so important. You just need to dominate the other jungler and just get them out of the game. And that's really the most important part that he told me about.
능력이 있으니까. 네. 아무튼 오늘 또 멋진 정글러의 활약으로 또 데뷔전이잖아요.
And of course, you did make your successful debut essentially by playing your first game of jungle, and it wasn't an easy game for you guys to pick out the win against ROX Tigers. And of course, you did pick out a win, and a win is a win, of course, but to have a little disappointing hiccup during that middle of the series. So, would you like to say anything for the very last words?
일단 지금 굉장히 좀 어떻게 보면 저 개인적으로는
I think right now,
지금 상태로 그러니까 저희 팀
For me
지금
personally,
유지해서 올해 잘 마무리할 수 있었으면 좋겠고.
yeah, I want to be in a situation where we can have a good ending to our story for this season, and really want to make it to MSI as much as all possible.
저희가 3연속 롤드컵 우승을 실패했잖아요.
You know, the three League of Legends World Championship victory didn't come through for us, but something we can still achieve at this moment is the MSI, and I really want to get that for our team.
올해가 좀 굉장히 중요한 해여서
I think it's a very important year for all of us, for as an organization, to prove ourselves and prove to others that we're still a strong team. Wolf, any last words you have to add on to what Bang just said? Anything to the fans?
네 오늘 경기가 굉장히
And,
늦게 끝났는데
the
아마
games ended quite late today, and I know that public transportation is pretty much cut off at this moment, so
항상 이렇게 늦게까지
we always do
남아서
thank you
응원해주신
for that much, that you guys are so
팬분들께
passionate on cheering for us and
TV
supporting
넘어오고
us.
또 응원해주시는 팬분들께도
And of course,
정말
people back
감사하다는
home
말을 드리고
who are
싶습니다.
watching this
저희
on screen,
남은 경기,
we
이제
still
경기
thank you
일주일만
for it, and
남았는데도
we do have a lot of
열심히
matches
해서 잘할 테니까
still
많이
left
응원해
in this
주셨으면
season. We just
좋겠습니다.
continue to ask for your support. We thank you all. And that does seem like the end of the interview for day one of OGN's LCK. We're gonna throw it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Joel, for the translation, as always. Well, there you go, Wolf. Maybe we'll see more of this moving forward.
Flex
Maybe we'll
support.
see him come out and play, at least one time in every single role on the side of SKT, except for mid, because Faker will never surrender his position again.
That's fair, that's fair. But I just want to see how OGN's going to list them. We actually get sheets that say their role, and suddenly I need to add a dash and give both jungle and support. Great series, great days games also, but great series between SKT and ROX. Game 2 is the one ROX can look back on very fondly. Great game played by Sungwon and Linderung. What a crazy series. Damn it, Wolf went to the jungle and helped win in an LCK game.
I know.
And
It's
guess
nuts,
what?
man? It's been a crazy day,
It's not that many hours till the next series. Less than 17 hours. 16 and a half hours from now. In fact, my call time is less than 14 hours from now.
Yeah.
Hongnu Monster, BBQ Olivers. And BBQ make their first debut, so lovers of Ignar and Trick from EULCS will be coming and making their big debut. And the final team to make their debut in the LCK is Jin Green Wings. So Wraith and Teddy will show us all their might against the might of KSV, who looked very strong yesterday.
I get a bit of a reprieve for tomorrow. I don't have to be back here. It's going to be Atlas joining Papa Smithy here on the desk, but I will be back on Saturday to bring you guys KT Rolster versus MVP. Again, we're talking about this with KT Rolster with that loss. Score not looking great and MVP looking like potentially the weakest team in the league. Will we see Rush play? That's going to be the big question going into Saturday. Can't wait to find out if that's going to be the case. And then Jin Green Wings versus SKT. always an interesting series. Jin Air has pulled out those very surprising victories over SK Telecom in the past. I think he could do it again now with this different roster without Kuzan. It'll be very interesting to see. So both those games are going to have a lot of intrigue surrounding them.
Not the time for the what ifs. Now the time for thank yous. Thank you for watching for 7 hours and 40 minutes. If you stuck around for all, if you're just tuning in, it was a crazy night. Watch the VODs. My
It really
goodness.
was. But all right, these guys will be back. Him and Atlas will be back tomorrow for more LCK action. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a good one, and thank you for staying with us the entire time. You're the MVP.